Alright, what's going on, guys? We are back with another Dokkan battle video, and today we're taking on the Festival of Battles mission. This is the super, beat it with a super int type, super STR type, and a super fizz type. Now bear with me as we kind of go through this video here. So this was actually pre-recorded, screen recorded on my phone while I was on vacation the other week. So I'm kind of just going to do some commentary over top of it as it's kind of just playing, because this was obviously me playing, just kind of walking around or hanging out at the house on vacation. Wasn't able to actually record it, wasn't able to actually speak while I'm going. So I'm going to try to cover it as best I can as we're kind of rolling through it. So just kind of bear with me. I will try to do the next Festival Battles video. I'll do it sit there and talk as I'm kind of doing it. But right now this one was this is my first attempt kind of going at it. And let's just say that it was a lot tougher than I really thought. Especially when you got to this part. The Fizz Goku right before this was a little tough. And I wasn't adequately prepared, I guess. So when we got into this fight right here, I'm trying my best to be able to clear out Glorio, Diamond Goku, thinking that this wasn't going to be anything too, crazy. Yeah, I figured it was going to be hard, because I know a lot of people complain about this part when you get here. But I had no idea how hard this actually was. And it's not the fact of oh, they hit me really hard and I died. It's no, my dudes obviously just weren't built up enough to be able to do enough damage, and it really just kicked us in the teeth trying to get us to the point where we could actually defeat these guys. And I'll just say, I think the most infuriating thing about Festival Battles is not the challenge. I think that the challenge of it, the tough fights, the long fight, everything like that, I think is fine. My only real gripe with this being my first time actually doing it was the charge counts. Completing the turn in the set charge count was probably the most infuriating thing that I had to deal with, especially when we got to this point right here. Just because I guess I didn't, like I said, I don't think I adequately built up my characters enough and did it the right way in order for them to fully excel at just this phase in the fight. So yeah, so this ends up being a very, very tough fight. Again, like I said, this was my very first attempt at it. I was sitting here hoping all right, Vegeta, I'm hoping you're doing a lot of damage here. And then just watching Glorio's health not move a whole lot, especially Diamond Goku's health not move a whole lot. When I tell you, it hurt me inside, I was literally dude, what the fuck, man? How is this even possible? And I sit here, for long periods of time, just sitting there staring at it going, okay, what the fuck can I actually do to defeat these guys? And I will happily take any strategies and stuff that maybe you guys have found when doing the Festival of Battles and how to kind of set your teams up for success. Now here, my main plan was using the Bond Parent and Child team, utilizing the new Easy A for the Int, Vegeta, and Trunks, and trying to take advantage of their stacking, team stacking ability. Which at the end of the day, I don't think was the best move, because I kind of prioritized that over the units stacking themselves, which I think bit me in the ass towards the end of this fight here. Because, units stacking themselves are going to stack much higher than the 5% that these guys will give. So I think that was my first mistake kind of jumping into this. And then after that, it was just kind of I ended up having to exhaust some resources that I thought I wouldn't have to as early on in these fights as I really was going. And it just, dude, it was just so infuriating to go through this fight. I just can't tell you how much because I tried it a few times after this, right? So this was my no shit first attempt making it here. And man, the amount of times I tried after was actually a little frustrating. Because, I mean, obviously, spoiler alert, if you haven't figured it out by now, I don't beat them in the amount of turns we have. If you haven't noticed, how high their health still is when we only have one turn left after this. Yeah, I did not beat them in this go right here. So this was like my first attempt at festival, my first fail at festival. And like I said, man, it was just a grind where I do like the concept of this fight. I just don't know how much I like some of the limitations they put on you of finishing it within, you know, X amount of turns or charges, right? Yeah, at this point, man, we were just screwed. Like, I had exhausted everything like way earlier than I should have just to get to this point. And we're like shit out of luck. Like, as you can see, I don't even have the Vegito fusion left because your boy had to use it at some point earlier because he fucked up. But I will say that by the end of this like video that we're showing here, you know, we're going to show this as a failed attempt. We'll jump into the next one, which I forgot to hit record. We were out walking around and I was kind of playing and I forgot to hit record for most of the fight until like we got to the Vegito fight. And I was like, oh shit, I need to record this, and started recording it. So once we finish up like this round here, we hit the game over screen. We're basically going to jump over to the actual clear. That way we can show, you know, what team we used, how we actually did go through it, and how we actually did beat it. So, you know, I don't blame you if you just skip ahead because you know you're gonna I'm gonna lose here. I don't care, blame if you skip ahead to the end, because again, I'm not trying to make this a super long video. I'm just kind of showing like the final highlights of it. I had a much longer like footage of this kind of built up and ready, but I don't think anybody really cares to watch, you know, a long footage video of someone going through festival to then just lose. So you know, I could have started, I think I started recording this one at like Beast Gohan, so there's a few phases before where we're at now. But yeah, then there's the game over screen, so we'll go ahead and cut to the actual win. So here's the actual fight. Here's the actual like what we did when we actually won. You know, right now you can tell we are going against Vegito. It's pretty much the start of the fight here. I forgot to turn my sound on when I did my screen recording, so there's no sound to it too. This is just a fucking mess. I'll tell you, all around, I was just a complete mess making this and trying to get this done while on vacation. So I'm gonna try to make sure that when we do like the new mission, right, with the extreme class, that I'm actually like sitting down, recording it, talking over it as we're kind of going through. But for now, like this is really the best I could do, and I hope that this kind of suffices enough for the video. But dude, I couldn't tell you like how much like as a first time like running through like the festival stuff. You know, I'm sure like the more and more I kind of play it with like the more missions, obviously they're gonna start making missions for it. So the more and more I kind of start playing it, the more I'll kind of like figure out the strategies to it to actually do a little bit better here. But when I tell you, like, I was like sweat, dude, hands weak, palms sweaty, mom spaghetti all over the fucking place. Dude, I was like, hands were fucking clammy as shit, thinking like, dude, are we gonna win? Like, did we make it this far just to lose like again? In like the amount of times I think I lost to the Daimagoku Glorio just because of charge counts. Like, once we made it past them, like, this was my first time fighting Vegito, and then we won. The Daimagoku and Glorio phase is where it seems to stall out, and it seems to be where, like, I see a lot of people struggling with that phase in general. Which is, I mean, fair, because I definitely did, and I definitely understand why, you know, with the fact that they straight up just, like, they're so hard to just knock down their health. And then, yeah, at this point, like, we're doing a bunch of damage to Vegito, and I'm sitting there like doing the math, and I'm like, dude, I don't think that we'll actually kill him on this turn with Vegito. Like, I might actually be kind of screwed. And I think we were like walking around like a shop or a store at this point, and my wife's looking at me, she's like, "Oh, what are you doing? Is everything okay?" I was like, "Oh, I can't talk right now. I got." It's like, I'm trying to beat this. I'm focused right now. I'm so sorry. Like, just like absorbed into it. But overall, like the experience of it, like when you finally beat Festival, you finally get through the end, it is such like a relieving feeling. It's just like, oh, thank God. Like, and to me, I was like, oh, thank God I don't have to do that again. And then they go ahead and drop another mission for it here for the TDC. So I guess like we're gonna run through the next one again. Like I said, I'll sit down, I'll record it, do the whole shebang. But yeah, man, like this was a grind, and this was just an overall like tough fight, tough experience to sit there and have to go through 2 hours of a single fight, trying to see how I can maximize like the way guys are stacking up, the way guys are building up, so that way when we get to this part in the end, we can actually win and not get our asses kicked and then have to sit there for another 2 hours to try it again, right? And a lot of this is RNG, like the way that you can kind of manipulate the way that your rotations get set up, but like ensuring your guys are able to like effectively stack the way that they need to and be good for like the later parts of the fight is huge. Now here I was definitely sweating because I was like, all right, Vegeta didn't do the job. I need Gogeta to counter. If Gogeta does not counter and we die, I will actually probably toss my phone across this store. I was so like dead set on the fact that I was like, I think we might be screwed. That I was like, it's just so terrified at this point. But yeah, I mean, we do eventually get the win here. I think with that, where we knocked out one of his attacks, the attack canceling with his counter, I think we actually ended up knocking out his super. Or no, we didn't. His super's still there. So yeah, we ended up countering it again. Dude, the double super counter was like, it sealed the deal. Like as soon as that did it, dude, I like had like a sigh of relief, and I was like, we're done. It's over. We've won. And I sat there, I remember looking at my wife, and I was like, oh, it's over. it's done. I finished it. I won. And I just remember being like so relieved to finish this fight. But yeah, so that is the footage from the Festival Battles. I'm sorry that like it wasn't like a sit down recorded kind of normal video. This is kind of just me talking over some of the gameplay of it. But yeah, dude, it was a grind. And yeah, the added time there for almost 3 hours because I had to stop and pause it because we were in a car ride. So I had to go drive. So I was like, I can't do this and drive, otherwise we're gonna be screwed. So yeah, dude, that was it. This is me finishing up, looking through all the missions here, showing all the missions are done. And again, this is the first time I beat it, so I waited till the end to pick up everything. So completing all the regular missions for Festival, completing the super tight mission is done, is complete, and that is what we have done here. And that's going to do it for the video. So if you guys stuck around to the end, I truly appreciate you. Thank you for hanging out with me. And please, please, please let me know if you guys have been able to, one, beat Festival, two, clear out this super mission. Just let me know. And good luck on the extreme mission. I'll make sure to actually sit down and record that one. So like, subscribe, do the thing, and I'll see you guys next time. See ya.